Today we're taking a look at the DotPad X. This is a brand new Braille display that can render multi-line Braille text and tactile graphics. It's crazy cool and crazy impressive, so hang on, we'll be right back. Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. And today it is all about Braille displays and cutting edge Braille technology. First things first, a huge thank you to Dot for sending out this demo unit so I could make this video for you guys. Like I said, this is the DotPad X. It is brand new. As of recording this video, it's not even available yet. You are able to pre-order it now, but we'll talk more about pricing and all of that a little bit later. So, like I said, this is a multi-line Braille display that can also render tactile graphics. This will connect to either a computer or some type of mobile device and will work in tandem with a screen reader on that device to display the Braille information on the DotPad X. And like I said, not only can you do single line Braille, but you can do multi-line Braille or rendering out full tactile graphics. But don't worry, I'm going to show you all of that. But first, let's take a look at the actual device. Okay, it's about 9 inches tall, 11 inches wide, and at the thickest point here, about 1 inch thick. On the right side here, we have the power switch and a USB Type-C charging port. This port is just for charging. You cannot transfer any data through this port. But on the left side here, we have another USB Type-C port, and this is for transferring data. Now, don't worry though, because the DotPad X does have Bluetooth, and that is how you're going to be connecting it usually to a mobile device. Once again, we'll check that out here in a minute. Nothing on the back here other than these rubber feet that will not only protect your work surface, but keep the DotPad from sliding around. And then finally on the front, this is obviously where all the exciting stuff is. At the very bottom, you have a single line Braille text display. This is a 20-cell Braille display. Right above that, you have the navigation and panning buttons. There are 6 buttons, and we'll talk about the function of these buttons when we get into using the device. Then right above that, taking up most of the top of the device, is your multi-line and tactile graphics Braille display. This area contains 300 8-pin Braille cells, 30 horizontal and 10 vertical. This can render out clear tactile graphics or even 8 rows of 20-cell Braille text. There's also a protective case or a protective shell for the DotPad X. You can think of it as like a case for your phone, one of those flexible, soft rubber phone cases. This just adds a little bit of protection for your DotPad X. So currently the DotPad X fully supports NVDA on computers, and very soon will fully support JAWS as well. As far as mobile devices, it works with VoiceOver on Apple, but sadly no support for TalkBack on Android just yet. The DotPad also has a companion app called Dot Canvas, and this is used for creating and sharing tactile graphics. In fact, it has a really cool drawing function where you draw on the screen of your device and it instantly shows up on the Braille display. We'll definitely take a look at that here in a minute as well. But first, let's connect it to my iPhone and I'll show you how it works with VoiceOver. I'm going to slide the power switch on the right here. We get vibration and you hear the pins moving. When you first turn it on, you get that vibration, and that also tells you your current battery level. If you want to check the battery level at any time, you hold down the 2 outside navigation buttons. Hold them both down for a couple seconds. If the battery is full, you'll get 5 vibrations. Each vibration pulse equals 20% battery. Fully charged, the DotPad X should last between 8 hours and all day. All right, I've just connected the DotPad X to my iPhone, and this is a super simple operation. It's done within the VoiceOver settings. There's a section in there labeled Braille, and within that Braille section, you can choose a Braille device to connect to. Once again, this is a Bluetooth connection, and it connected very quickly. So now that I am connected and VoiceOver is turned on, I'm currently on my home page and the focus, my VoiceOver focus, is sitting on my phone app. So on the DotPad X display, The tactile graphic display here is showing a representation of that app icon. So I can feel an outline of the app and I can feel the phone receiver that is displayed on the phone icon. Down below in the single line of Braille text, it actually has the word phone because that's the current icon that I'm sitting on. If I swipe on my phone here to the right, Contacts, it goes to my Contacts app, and now the tactile graphic display here has changed to a representation of my Contacts app. Once again, I can feel the outline of the app and I can feel the image that's on the Contacts icon, kind of a simplified picture of a person. Down below on the single line of Braille text, it says Contacts written out in Braille. Now, to navigate around the screen, of course, I can swipe left or right on the phone itself, but since we're connected to the dot pad, I should really be using this to navigate. And I can do that by using our navigation and panning buttons. The two outside buttons, which are shaped like triangles, those will move the single line of text forwards or backwards. Then the four oval-shaped buttons in the middle, these are called our F buttons. So F1, F2, F3, F4, they have certain functions as well. F1 and F4 will actually move our tactile graphics display forwards or backwards. Now, because we're currently sitting on the home screen, that means that both the left and right navigation buttons, as well as the F1 and F4, both basically do the same thing. They will move us forwards or backwards one item at a time.
YouTube, 246 new items.
And as we do, we see that our single line of text changes and our tactile graphics display changes as well. So now we're currently sitting on our YouTube app. I can feel the outline of that red box in the middle with that outline of that white triangle play button. It's actually really cool. So this is gonna be super cool for people that maybe they were told what these icons look like the Facebook icon, for example. Well, it's a lowercase white F on a blue background. Okay, but to be able to actually put their hands on it and feel what it looks like, that's super cool. Now I've jumped into my settings here just to illustrate what it looks like to have multi-line Braille being rendered here on the tactile graphic display. Since the settings is just a list of text, the dot pad will display all of that as multi-line Braille. Now I can also demonstrate how if I click the navigation buttons on the outside here, it will move forward the single line of Braille. But if I want to move forward the multi-line Braille here at the top in the tactile graphics display area, I would use that F1 and F4. And all of this Braille is updating here at the top. So F1 and F4 will move things forwards or backwards. F2
declock 1:32
will send us back to our home screen. It's like hitting the home button on your phone. If I want to choose an app, then I hit F3.
Gmail, navigation menu, button, signed in as Seve4.
And that is basically the same as double tapping on your screen. It's choosing an item. So that's one thing I really like about this. It's very simple controls. Navigating around using the navigation and the panning buttons, it's actually quite easy. Next, we're going to take a look at the Dot Canvas app. Once again, this is a companion application for the DotPad X that lets you create, save, and share tactile graphics. Once you create your account and sign in, this is the interface.
Create canvas, button.
First option is to create a new canvas.
My drawing, button.
Your drawings, your saved drawings.
Dot cloud, button.
Dot cloud, this is where you can save and share drawings, tactile graphics that you've created or that other people have created.
Settings, button.
And then settings. Let me jump into here real quick.
You have moved to the settings screen.
The main thing you do in here is choosing your language as well as connecting to the DotPad X. And once again, this is a Bluetooth connection. It is super easy and connects very, very quickly.
Create canvas, button.
All right, let's jump in and create a canvas.
Create canvas. Dot canvas. You have moved to the drawing screen. Close, button.
We have a couple of tools across the top here.
Untitled.
This is the name of this specific canvas. We can give it a name if we want. That's going to be helpful if we save it.
Undo, button.
Undo, redo.
Button. Pen, button. Color button, button. Template, button. Fill, button. Erase, button.
Some of these aren't necessarily being spoken the right way with VoiceOver, but we have a lot of graphic editing options, a lot of things you would see on other programs like Photoshop and that sort of thing. Pen tool, a fill tool, the erase tool, and a couple other things. I'm not going to go too deep into this. I mainly want to show how you can create an image on the .canvas app and how quickly it shows up on the .pad itself. So I'm just going to draw a circle. We get a little sound effect through the app of like a pencil drawing on paper. And in real time, it shows up on our .pad. It's really kind of crazy how quickly it shows up. So I'm going to draw another circle. And now we have our two circles here. And I'm going to draw a big circle. And now we have the big circle on the .pad. And like I said, the pins pop up in real time. Now, I don't really know how to draw Mickey Mouse, but we're just going to draw a smiley face on the inside. There you go. And now we have our smiley face. And yeah, you can totally feel it. Really awesome. We also have a fill option. So if I tap on the fill and then tap this box, completely fills that in. And now this whole section is filled in with pins. If we jump into the .cloud, we have two main sections here. The first one is my own personal folder. So any of my own saved designs are going to show up here. But we can also jump into the .cloud folder.
.cloud, button. Selected. .cloud, dimmed.
And there are a ton of different graphics already saved in here that you can check out.
Pokemon ball.
There's a Pokemon ball. Let's check that out.
Alert, open, button, open.
Yeah, it totally feels like a Pokeball. That's super cool. Now, I know someone's going to ask about rendering photos on the .pad X. And technically, yes, you can. However, it's important to know that there's only 300 pins on this display area. So technically, that's a very low resolution photo. So that means if you have an extremely high resolution photo, like a 1080p or a 4K image, it's not going to render very well on this display. There's just not enough pins. But simple images, graphics, things like that, icons, all of those are going to display really well on the .pad X. Okay guys, so that was a look at the brand new .pad X brought to us by Dot. If you're looking for a very powerful, capable Braille display that can not only display single line Braille, but also multi-line Braille and tactile graphics, then definitely check out the .pad X. If you're interested in getting this for yourself, for one of your clients, for your school, I will have contact information in the video description down below. The price is $5,900. And remember, if you're located here in the US, reach out to your local Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, maybe Department of Rehabilitation Services, whatever it's called in your area. Reach out to them to ask about getting a .pad X. Once again, a huge thank you to Dot for letting me borrow this demo unit so I can make this video for you guys. If you like this information and you found it helpful, please consider liking the video, and also make sure you are subscribed to The Blind Life and turn on those bell notifications because I put out content like this every single week. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. You can also reach me through my website, theblindlife.net. While you're there, check out all my other social media, including the podcast. The Blind Life Podcast is available on all your major podcast platforms. That is it for this one, guys. Thank you again for watching. Sam with The Blind Life. I will see you next time.